I want to bring in Rahema Ellis first, who's been all over this shooting since it happened at just about 10:15 local time in Highland Park, again, about 25 miles north of Chicago. So, Rahema, bring us up to speed on where the investigation stands now. As we know, this manhunt is happening. More than 100 members of law enforcement out looking for the shooter.
Yeah, Hallie, local, county, state, federal authorities are all on the scene trying to figure out who this person is and where this person is. In the last hour, they pointed out that they have a very active, apprehensive effort underway. They wouldn't say more than that because, of course, they don't want to tip their hand at this moment. But they are fanning out in all areas to try and apprehend this person. In addition to that, they pointed out that they are making significant progress and the gunman is being heavily pursued. Authorities have talked about the fact that they have recovered a rifle. That rifle, it is believed, and our experts have been telling us all day, that there is very likely DNA evidence on that rifle. There is very likely fingerprints on that rifle. Even if there aren't any fingerprints, there's DNA. Because that person on a hot July day outside of Chicago was probably sweating, even just from the adrenaline from themselves, to say nothing of the heat on a July day in the Chicago area. This community of Highland Park is a small community, but it doesn't matter anymore in America, whether it's a big city or a small city. Shootings happen. This community is of about 30,000 people, 25, 30 miles north of Chicago. People saying over and again, they never thought it could happen here, but it did. One person on the scene was a doctor. Listen to what he described, what he saw.
Got to the two areas. You saw blood everywhere. You saw bodies down. You saw people screaming. You saw massive amounts of blood in the people that were gone. Their injuries were horrific.
And that from someone who is in the medical profession, a doctor, and even he seemed shaken by what had happened. Hard not to be. Hundreds of people out on this 4th of July day to celebrate a holiday, to celebrate freedom. We've heard over and again from people saying they do not feel free anymore when things like this can happen literally anywhere in America. Hallie?
You know, we're looking at this video, Rahema, as you're talking, not just the police presence, but the abandoned chairs, right? The leftover items that had been along the parade route as people were just sprinting to try to get to safety when they heard the gunshots. I want to play for you a little bit more. We heard from the doctor there how some other eyewitnesses are describing what happened.
We heard shots. It didn't register to me that they were shots. But then people started running. All these people were running at us and they were screaming that there's a shooter and to run. And then the sirens were so loud and just people just running at us. And then we were running.
That's Kristen Carlson, Rahema, who I spoke with just around maybe 2:30, 3 o'clock. She had seen kids, little kids, she says, at least one little, maybe 7, 8-year-old separated from family. They were trying to reconnect the family together. She brought like a dozen people to the backyard of her mom's house where they were staying in Highland Park. Yeah. What is important to note here, too, Rahema, is that police say this was, in their view, completely random. This was random, and they say this was intentional.
Yeah, which is interesting positioning to describe this. If it's random, how is it intentional? And if it is intentional, this person, according to authorities, accessed that roof by an unsecure ladder that was on the outside of one of these buildings, of the building that he apparently climbed up onto, and from a sniper-like position, rained gunfire down on this crowd. And so why was it random? Authorities and our experts in this area are telling us it's very likely that this person had an opportunity to, quote unquote, case the area to see what was going on. And clearly they knew that this was the 4th of July. Clearly they knew there would be hundreds of people there and they would be easy targets. Hallie?
What else has struck you, Rahema, as we've watched this coverage really for hours now today as this has unfolded?
When one mother said that she just grabbed her 3-year-old daughter and ran, and her daughter was totally unaware of what was happening, as were most people. The adults weren't aware of what was happening, but they do know that there was terror. They were being terrorized. She said her daughter was thinking about the candy that they had left behind. Children coming out to a 4th of July celebration, all they want to do is have a good time and make good memories. Now the question becomes, will they be able to forget? Will they be able to unsee what they saw, unfeel what they felt from this day? As one woman said also, she didn't think that the fire shots that she heard, the pop, 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 could be happening in her community, a quiet suburb north of Chicago. She said, for one thing, it was Highland Park. The other thing she said, it's daylight. It's not the cloak of darkness that someone can operate from. And again, as we've heard so many times in instances like this, people think that it can't happen to them. This community now tragically knows that they are not immune. It can happen anywhere.
Rahima Ellis, thank you for your reporting. Appreciate it.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.